Hello students, today we would be doing Python lesson number 1. Python was developed by Guido van Rossum. His favorite TV serial Monty Python's Flying Circus made him give it name Python. It was released in February 1991 and it is based on two programming language, ABC language and Modulo 3 language. Some of the features of Python is very easy to use, very simple syntax rules. That is, the way to write the Python program is very simple. It is compact, means the programs generated would be very small. It is object oriented, means all the features of object oriented programming are present. Like the entire code can be considered as a class and you can create any number of objects out of it. It is high level language. High level language means English kind of language which is very simple. So to write a program in Python, all that you need to know is English and you can write it down. So it is a high level language. Expressive language, in very few lines you can write a big code. The language or the words which are used in this language mean what they stand for. Like if I am going to print something, I have to use the word print itself. So the syntax are also very simple. It is interpreted language. Interpreted means line by line execution of the code happens. That means that if I have written a Python program of 10 lines, then each line is converted from high level language, that is that Python language, to machine language which computer understands, that is 101010, with the help of interpreter line by line. Okay, though Python uses both compiler and interpreter, but since it is an interpreted language, it is easier to debug. Its completeness, all the functionalities are available in the Python library. So mostly when you download Python from python.org, you get all the functionalities automatically along with the Python library. It is cross-platform language, means it runs on Windows, Linux, Macs, anything. You don't have to create different Python programs for different platforms. Free and open source means you can download from python.org and then you can, since it is open source, you can see the source code of the Python program or say Python language, and you can do some changes to it, you can modify it. The source is open for everyone. Variety of usage, it is used in game application development, database application, web application, graphical user application, and various ways it is being used, which has made it one of the most popular programming language. Along with its positive, there are some negatives of Python. It is not one of the fastest language. First, it is interpreted. So one by one, each line is executed and then wait for you to correct the error. So in that case, it is not fast as compared to other languages which are using compilers. Moreover, it semi-compiles it into a byte or intermediate code and then it interprets it, which makes double the task, and hence it is not a faster language. Libraries provide with it are lesser as compared to C, Java and Perl. It has no strong type binding. Not a strong type binding because this Python language, in this the variable etc. that we use do not have to have a data type assigned to the variable from first. So during the execution of the program, by chance if you change the variable from one data type to another data type, then it may create a little bit of problem. It is not easily convertible, means since the syntax are very simple, it happens that converting into Java or C++, some other language, is not that easy. It is a bit difficult to convert it. It has two modes. Python has two modes, interactive mode and script mode. In interactive mode, one command is executed at one time and the result is shown immediately. In script mode, you can copy and keep it in a file, that is a number of commands can be written in a file and executed all together. Let us see how this works. Let us open Python and check. This is the interactive mode. We can open this when we write in search Python. It gives two options, one IDLE and other is this command prompt. This command prompt looks like this. Now suppose if I want to write a command over here, I need to write it, say print. I am trying to print hello. You can see the output is immediately printed. Now if after that I am writing something, it is going to print it. So the output is clubbed between or sandwiched between two commands. This is interactive mode. In IDLE mode, again in search, I will write down IDLE. This is the IDLE Python. I have 3.7. IDLE opens in this manner. It also has an interactive mode. You can see over here. This interactive mode functions just like the command prompt you saw. I just have to write hello. Again 3 plus 4 or anything. It is going to be sandwiched between the two statements. But if I want script mode, I have to go to file and say new file. Over here I can write set of lines all together. I can write print. I can also say print 3 plus 4. Since 3 and 4 are numeric values, I don't have to use double quotes. For string values, I have to use double quotes. We'll be seeing what are string and numerics, everything as we go forward. The thing is, I can write n number of whatever number of lines I want over here. I need to save it. When I save it, I need to give it a name. Probably I give it a name practical1.py. py is the extension. I save it and I can run it from run mode or F5. You can see all the output comes in one shot. This is how we can use it. For downloading Python, you can go to python.org and the latest, that is 3.8.2, you can download it on your computer. Okay, you saw how to use both the modes. This is say my first program, print hello how are you. What is this line? This is having a hashtag before it. This is said to be a comment. What is the meaning of a comment? In the script mode, when I am writing a code, in that code, if I want that a particular line should not be read by the Java interpreter, it should be ignored and not executed, then I have to write a hash sign before it. This is a single line command. This line, whatever I have written, is never executed. Let us see through example. Say suppose I go to file and I open the file that I had made last time. I had made, okay, fine, I'll make a new one. I made a new file and in this file I want to write down print hello and I am writing down a hashtag and print hi. Normally I would have thought that both are to be printed, but it doesn't happen. When I try to run it, he's obviously telling me to save it. I call it as my program2.py. Okay. Okay. You can see only hello is printed. The reason being the other line is commented. If I want more than one line to be commented, I have to use 3 single double quotes. This is said to be commenting more than one lines. Now if you will run this, it is not going to give me any output. You can see there is no output. The reason both the lines are ignored by the compiler and no output has been generated. Next we will be seeing what are Python character sets. That is the characters that you can use while writing a Python code. Python allows you to use characters A to Z small, A to Z capital, 0 to 9. Special characters like space, these all characters can be used while writing a Python program. You can use new line, form feed, tab. I will show you through example. And there are certain Unicode characters. What are Unicode characters? Now, we may be using English, but there are thousands of alphabets which are there in world. Russian, German, Chinese, Mandarin. There are so many available characters. Now when computer need to understand those characters, they use Unicode character set. This is collection of characters which includes each and every character around the world. When it is in Unicode, it is always written by /u. I'll show you through a program how to use this set. When I say character set, it means only this can be used while writing a Python program. Like say, what is the set of characters for English language? Only A to Z. That is how you write English, right? Or you write numbers 0 to 9. That is what we use in English. Same way when we use Python programming, we have to use among this Unicode characters, white space, special characters, letters and numbers only. Let us see how to use them. In this code, you can see that I have written 4 print statements. One is printing ABCD. Second one is printing hello world, how are you? Third is printing a Unicode character 9000 and this is printing 2603. Let us see what are the output. ABCD, hello world, how are you? This is a Chinese character /U9000 and this is a snowman. This is a snowman character given in a Unicode. Now there are something known as space. We have used spaces. There are some escape sequences. Now there is like if I want that hello should be written in the first line and world in the second line, then I need to press enter key. So what represents enter key when I try to write it in print statement? It is represented by escape sequence /end. It means go to next line on or new line. If I want a tab in between, that is a space between two letters, then I can introduce /t as /. If I want double quote in between, then I use escape sequence / and double quote. It will draw a double quote in between for me. And if I want a slash, then I'll put a slash and a slash. Let us see what is the output for the same. You can see hello and then due to / and world came down. Then here there is a tab space. So one space is introduced over here. This is a double quote before which I had to put a slash and this is a slash before which I had to again put slash because this and this both are escape sequences. Clear? Now what are tokens? Every single smallest unit of a Python program. That is when you write a Python program, you would have written some words, some say punctuation marks, whatever you write, that each single individual unit is part of one or the other token. So totally there are main 5 tokens of Python: keywords, identifier, literals, punctuations and operators. We will see each of them one by one. These are the only valid things that you will be able to use in a Python program. Let us see what are keywords. Keywords are reserved words in Java which means something to the Java interpreter and compiler and hence they cannot be used for anything else except what they are said or they are meant to convey to the compiler and the interpreter. You cannot use for anything else. All the Python language keywords are in small letters except this 3 which starts from capital letter, that is false, none and true. Moreover, Python is a case sensitive language, so small and big letter makes a difference. Let me show you with an example. Say in this code, if I convert this P to capital P and try to run it, it is going to throw an error because you cannot write capital P, right? Next, after keywords are identifiers. What are identifiers? The user defined name or the names that we give to some variables, some objects, some classes, functions or list are said to be an identifier. They are the name I choose to give to a variable or something. Now when I choose to give some names, it is still has some rules to be followed. What are the rules for an identifier? In an identifier, you can use capital A to Z, small a to Z, 0 to 9 numbers and underscore. Apart from that, you cannot use anything. Moreover, an identifier can never start with a digit. It is invalid. Keywords cannot be used. We cannot use special symbols like this. So the only thing can be used is underscore and it can be of any length. Let us see through an example. Here in this code, I have made two variables. A is equal to 12 and B is equal to 14. What are variables? They are named locations in memory. In memory, wherever 12 is written, its address is written in A. Wherever 14 is written, its address is written in B. Now, these are the two variables. I can say print A plus B. I do not have to use double quotes because they are variables. So, I will run the module. After saving it, it gives me the answer 26. Now let me see that this A is the name of a variable. The rule states that it cannot start with a number. So if I start 1A and try to run the module, it is going to throw an error for me because I cannot name it 1A. It is an invalid syntax. Moreover, I can start it with an underscore if I want, and then I can have a number. In this, if I try to run, it is going to run perfectly. Okay. Here I had an error. The reason being, in print I am trying to print which is not available. Okay. So I am trying to print A and there is no variable like A. I'll write underscore 1. So then it will execute because A named variable was not present. Okay. So I get my answer all over again. It is 26. Clear? Now this is, moreover, I cannot have any special symbols. I cannot write star. I cannot write anything or else it is going to throw me an error. Right? It is going to give me an error. Moreover, I cannot use any keyword. If is a keyword. So I try to tell that the name of my variable is if. Again, it is going to create a problem for me. Okay, he is telling that is an invalid syntax. Got it? So all the rules apply and capital if is allowed. The reason being that small if is a keyword and Python being case sensitive language, capital if is allowed to be used. I got error for this line. So I need to remove this. In that case, it will not throw any error. And it will give me the answer 14. Okay. Okay. You can see that it gave me the answer 14. So capital IF is different than small if. Small if is a keyword whereas capital IF is not. This can be of any number of length. Okay, I can keep it of any length. The only thing that I have to take care because it depends on the memory size of your computer. Okay, so this is all for today's lecture. We will see in other lecture some other basics of Python. Thank you.